Every body design mistake, evolution left behind, blind spots. Your eyes are supposed to help you see everything around you, but each of your eyes has a spot where you actually see nothing at all. This place is called a blind spot, and it exists because the inside of your eye is wired in a strange and backward way. The part of your eye that senses light, called the retina, has layers of nerves sitting in front of the light sensors. Light has to travel through those layers before it reaches the sensors that notice color, brightness, and movement. The optic nerve is the cable that carries visual information from your eye to your brain. But to leave the eye, this nerve has to push through the retina after the sensors. This creates a small hole where no light can be detected. That hole is the blind spot. You don't usually notice it because your brain fills in the missing information using the other eye or guesses what should be there. Other animals solve this wiring problem differently. For example, octopuses have their sensors in front of their nerves, which means they have no blind spot at all. Their eyes are basically the upgraded model. Humans kept the older design, and evolution never fixed it because it worked well enough. That's why every human eye has a tiny invisible hole where vision disappears. High cancer rates. Cancer happens when your own cells start to grow out of control instead of following the usual rules. Cells grow, divide, repair damage, and die when they are supposed to. But sometimes the DNA inside a cell gets damaged. When too much damage builds up, the cell begins to multiply without stopping. This creates tumors and cancer. Humans have high cancer rates partly because we live much longer than our ancestors. For most of human history, people rarely lived past age 40. Evolution only needed the body to work long enough for a person to grow up, have children, and help them survive. After that, evolution didn't worry much about long-term maintenance. Inside your cells, you have repair systems that fix DNA mistakes. But as you age, these repair systems slow down. More mistakes slip through. Over time, those errors can turn into cancer. Other animals evolved stronger protections. Elephants, for example, have many extra copies of a special gene called P53, which destroys dangerous cells before they become cancerous. Humans have only one copy of this gene. Because humans live longer lives now, we see more diseases that happen in older age. Cancer is not a sign of a broken body. It is a sign that the human body was built for shorter lifetimes, and the repair tools were never upgraded to handle 70, 80, or 90 years of constant use. Back pain. The human spine has a long S shape that supports the body while standing and walking on two legs. But this spine design wasn't originally made for upright walking. Early human ancestors moved on four legs, and the spine worked like a strong horizontal beam. When humans stood up, evolution simply tilted that beam into a vertical position instead of building a new structure from scratch. Standing upright places a lot of pressure on the lower part of the spine. The discs between the vertebrae act like cushions to absorb impact, but they become worn out over time. They can also slip or bulge when too much pressure is placed on them. This causes pain, numbness, or difficulty moving. Modern habits make this worse. Long hours of sitting, weak core muscles, and poor posture increase the force on the lower spine. Scientists even found that people with herniated discs sometimes have vertebrae shaped more like ape spines than modern human spines. This shows how recently humans switched to upright walking and how the spine is still catching up. Evolution gave humans the ability to stand tall, travel far, and use their hands freely. But it did not redesign the spine to handle these new pressures perfectly, which is why back pain is one of the most common human problems today. Easily torn ligaments. Ligaments are thick bands of tissue that connect bones together and keep joints stable. They prevent your knees, ankles, and other joints from moving too far in the wrong direction. But ligaments have a major weakness. They tear easily when forced to twist, stretch, or bend too much. Early humans didn't need super strong ligaments because their daily movements were simple and steady. They walked long distances, climbed slowly, crouched for tasks, and sometimes ran. But modern sports, exercise, and fast movements place much higher stress on joints than the original design expected. The ACL, a ligament inside the knee, is one of the most commonly injured. It helps control the forward and twisting motion of the knee, but it isn't built to handle sudden turns, quick stops, or jumps that twist the joint. When too much force is applied, the ligament tears. Ligaments also heal slowly because they have very little blood supply. Once torn, they often need surgery to repair or replace them. The body can rebuild bone quickly, but ligaments struggle to heal because they don't receive enough nutrients or oxygen. Evolution made them strong enough for survival tasks, but not strong enough for the high-impact activities humans do today. Overactive immune system. The immune system protects the body by recognizing and attacking harmful invaders, like bacteria, viruses, and parasites. It uses antibodies, white blood cells, and chemical signals to find and destroy threats. But in the modern world, the immune system sometimes reacts to harmless things because it is tuned for a past environment filled with dangers that most people don't face today. In ancient times, humans lived outdoors, drank untreated water, and had frequent contact with dirt, insects, and parasites. A highly sensitive immune system helped them survive these constant threats. But modern environments are cleaner. People wash hands often, have access to medicine, and live in protected homes. Because the immune system does not encounter as many real enemies, it sometimes reacts to harmless substances like pollen, dust, food proteins, or pet dander. This creates allergies. In more extreme cases, the immune system mistakenly attacks the body's own cells, which causes autoimmune diseases. An overactive immune system isn't broken. It's simply using ancient settings in a modern world. The system was built to be cautious and aggressive because caution meant survival thousands of years ago. Narrow birth canal. The human birth canal is the passage that a baby must pass through during childbirth. It became narrow because human ancestors began walking on two legs. As the pelvis adapted for upright walking, it became shorter and narrower to support body weight and balance. This reduced the space available for childbirth. At the same time, human infants evolved larger heads to support larger brains. This created a conflict between the size of the baby's head and the size of the passage it must fit through. The result is a difficult childbirth process compared to many other animals. Babies must rotate and twist their heads and bodies to fit through the canal. This makes childbirth slow and complex. Before modern medicine, these challenges made childbirth extremely risky for both mothers and babies. To solve this problem, human infants are born earlier in their development compared to other mammals. They arrive before their brains and bodies are fully grown, which makes them more fragile and dependent on caregivers. The narrow birth canal is a trade-off between having a smart brain and having the ability to walk upright. Poor ear drainage. The human middle ear connects to the throat through a small canal called the eustachian tube. This tube helps drain fluid and equalize air pressure between the ear and the environment. But the tube in humans is narrow, short, and at a shallow angle, which makes drainage slow and inefficient. Children have even more trouble because their eustachian tubes are almost horizontal. Fluid often collects behind the eardrum and cannot drain properly. This trapped fluid can become infected easily, leading to ear infections, pain, and temporary hearing problems. As people grow, the skull changes shape and the tube becomes slightly more vertical, which improves drainage. But the angle is still not ideal. The problem comes from evolutionary changes to the human skull. As humans evolved larger brains and flatter faces, the angle of the eustachian tube became less effective for draining fluid. The result is a drainage system that works but not well. Many people experience ear infections or pressure problems because the tube is simply positioned at the wrong angle for smooth, consistent drainage. Overactive pain system. Pain is the body's warning signal that something is wrong. It protects you by telling you to stop doing things that may cause injury. But sometimes pain continues even when the original injury has healed. This is called chronic pain, and it happens because the body's pain system is highly sensitive. Evolution tuned the pain system to be cautious. In dangerous environments, even small injuries could lead to death if not treated carefully. A strong pain response forced early humans to rest, avoid danger, and allow injuries to heal fully. In the modern world, medical care helps injuries heal faster, but the pain system still uses ancient settings. Nerves can continue sending pain signals long after the threat is gone. This can happen after back injuries, nerve damage, or illnesses like migraines. Pain sensitivity helped humans survive harsh conditions. Today, that same sensitivity sometimes causes long-lasting discomfort, even when the danger has passed. Our bodies may be strong and amazing, but they're also full of weird design mistakes that evolution never bothered to fix. Every part has a story, and some of those stories are pretty embarrassing. If you want more videos that break down the human body in simple and fun ways, make sure to subscribe for the next one.